In this video, we're going to ask the age-old question, will Hogworkz extended saddlebag liners fit in Advan Black stretched saddlebags? We'll get to that, but let's look at the quality of these saddlebag liners for just a second. I went with the blue stitching on these Hogworkz saddlebag liners. You can see here the Hogworkz logo tag stitch in. These feature pockets on the side and on the end here. These are not actually leather, they're like a faux leather, but man, they look absolutely amazing. They look like leather, and the stitching and everything is really, really nicely done. Now these are very rigid, I would say, stiff, so when you get them, they're gonna be all smushed down in the box, and you're gonna have to kind of form them and play with them to get them to the shape that you want them. But we're gonna go ahead and try to get these to fit in the Advan Black saddlebags and see if they work, right? Different brands, but do they work? Let's go. All right, let's get them kind of worked down in here. Remember how I was explaining that when you get these, when they come in the box, they're all smushed down and deformed and everything, and how it's kind of a stiff material? So the thing is, you might start putting it in your saddlebag and being like, they cut this wrong, they stitched it wrong, it's not gonna fit. Because when I was first originally putting this one in, that's exactly what I thought. I was like, it's not lining up and matching up. But if you pay attention to where the seams are, they're all cut and stitched to fit perfectly into your bag. So make sure you get these pushed down into the edges of your saddlebag and just work with it a little bit. If it's a little bit warmer, that's gonna help the material. And in fact, every video that I've watched, everybody said the same thing. For these and the Advan Black saddlebag liners, and I was like, they put a lot of emphasis on the fact that like, they're pretty stiff and you have to kind of work them in there and stuff, but I can see why after installing them. It's just frankly the way that it is. I've already had these not actually installed in the bike, but just set in here so they could kind of form and fit to the bike. Just waiting for me to do this video. I got the matching liner for the tour trunk and all that, so we'll go over the whole installation for all this stuff. Get these kind of sit in here where you want them and get everything really pressed in to place like we talked about. And once you kind of get it where you want it, there's these tabs on the inside, Velcro, and you could just peel those off, put them in place, and good to go. But Hogworkz also sends plenty of Velcro strips, so if you really want to get this secured in there along the bottom or any edge or whatever, you can always add more Velcro if you would like to. The most important thing to note is you're going to want to get some rubbing alcohol and a cloth and just wipe down the areas where you're gonna apply the Velcro so it sticks well. And one thing I really like about these saddlebag liners is if you've installed things like the lighted hinge covers or anything like speakers or anything where you're running wiring in your saddlebag, this will actually cover up that wiring and protect it. Now as far as mine go, I'll be okay with the wiring for the most part, but there is this one spot right here where they've got a Velcro tab. I've actually got a mount here for the wiring, so I think I'm gonna have to undo that and just move the wiring down so it's below that. So I'm just gonna pop that off, and after that I'm not even that worried about the wiring at all, so I'm not even gonna worry about it. I'm just gonna set it down in here and call her a done deal. So I just want to take some alcohol on a little towel here, and I'm just gonna look wherever their tabs are and just wipe it down a little bit, and we'll really just let that dry for a minute. I'm not super concerned about it. It will help the edges of the liner stay in place a little better, but overall it's not going to affect the liner a whole lot. I don't see a lot of sense in making sure the liner is super secure, I guess, personally. One of the main things I want to be sure is when I'm getting this liner secured into place, I just want to make sure that my holes that are pre-cut out for the mounting hardware lines up, right? So I'm just going to temporarily put this stuff into place, partially tight, not 100%, because I need to get behind. If you guys would have used more Velcro, all this extra stuff, let me know why down in the description below. If you're just like, oh man, he didn't do it right because he didn't put in the extra Velcro. I could definitely see putting one here and possibly here. And I can always take this out and add more later if I feel fit. Again, this is just Velcro, so these liners are completely removable to be cleaned, or if you want to add more Velcro later. I think I will end up adding a strip here for sure, and really that'll just get it to kind of sit more flush around the spot where the shock is. I'm basically just making sure my wiring is, now that I can hide it and bury it, might as well make sure it's down in there, right? So now the nice thing about this is you can keep documents in here, your insurance card, whatever, or maybe just when you get on your bike, you don't want to have your wallet in your pocket or whatever, and you can just slip it in there, and then when you get to your stop, pull it right out. But that's basically it for the saddlebag liner. Nice long pocket here, and then this one. Bag lid's closed, no problem. And that's gonna do it for the saddlebag liner. Let's go ahead and move on to the tour pack, because the tour pack's gotta match the saddlebags, right? All right, let's get her opened up. We have kind of the same situation over here at the tour pack end of things. I just set it in here basically to kind of get it formed into shape. This one you really need to push the edges down at least as much as the saddlebags, because I think the part that makes it a little more complicated here is the edges and stuff aren't as defined in the tour pack. They're a little smaller, like smaller ridges and things like that. I already pulled out the stock kind of formed felt liner out of here, and I also needed to remove the power. Now you can reinstall the power port in this tour pack, which I'm going to do, but we are gonna have to drill holes through the liner to make that work. So that'll be part of the process. But again, just like on the saddlebag liners, you have the tabs here. The Velcro tabs are already sewn in with the other piece of Velcro on here. So all we'll need to do is just remove the backing and stick it on once we're happy with the fitment. Now, sadly, I am gonna cover up all of my stickers in the tour pack lid. The one thing that we'll have to do to install the lid portion of the liner is we need to remove the tether, which also requires removing the backrest from the tour pack. So it's a little bit of, ooh, you know what? I have a better way. We can just remove this part of the tether. Good thinking, Drew. Now, ideally, it would be nice to have somebody actually holding the tour pack lid, so that doesn't happen. But you can see now, we can get this into place. And this might actually be one where, since it's gonna be kind of hanging, I think we are gonna put some Velcro strips throughout to secure it. Which also means I need a helper to hold this up. There we go. There we go, mate. Let's get me some alcohol. Kind of figure out where we can install these. Wipe down a few spots on here, and we're going over stickers. We have to. No real option. Make sure we get along the edges as well, because that's where the factory Velcro already is. I usually do the rough side of the Velcro on the hard surface, and the removable part I like to put the soft Velcro, just so if you ever pull the liner out, it's not the rough side. I don't know, it's just what I do. All right, so I'm gonna put a strip right here. I think I'll try that for now, and if I feel like it's sagging in any area later down the road, I'll just throw another one in, maybe through here, and we'll go from there. This liner is gonna spend the majority of its life upside down, just hanging, so that's why I'm a little more concerned about this section. So I'm hoping it don't start sticking too much until I'm super ready, but at this point I think we can kind of press it. And the one thing is, if you wanted it more formed around where the tour pack actually kind of is molded out, you could put Velcro here and up here, but I don't know how desperately important that is. So now we're just gonna start working our way around. I'll start up in this corner, and what I'm doing is, before I stick it down, I'm kind of pushing the edge in to really try to butt this corner up in here as much as I can. Ooh, this one's missing a chunk. Well, that's an easy fix. That's the rough side. I want to push the corners in, and then affix the Velcro. All right, so far so good. Once this is totally in, or in at all, once you have the first piece of Velcro affixed, once you have the first piece of Velcro in place, stuck to the lid, I wouldn't try to remove this for a good length of time. I don't know if it's 24 hours or a week or whatever, but what's gonna happen is that adhesive needs a little bit of time to kind of get stuck on there good. And even then, I mean, this stuff will peel off. So just when you're removing the liner, I won't just rip it out necessarily. Might be a little bit careful with it. Like I said, you've got extra also, so you know what, just do what you want, all right? You don't have to listen to me. Now, just in case there's ever any questions, this one is made exactly for the OEM King Tour Pack. Now, they do have them custom made for their own tour packs as well, so plenty of options as far as these liners go. But just look at how this is looking already. It's really molding in there nice. Like, you can really see it along this area here. This is beautiful. This may be an area where I'm gonna wanna add a small piece of Velcro later. We'll see how all that works out. But now here, I wanna try to pull this corner up and in. So that might actually be fine. But if you wanted this to sit flush or more flush in here, then you might just want to put a strip around this square cutout if you find that to be an issue. The lid liner is in. Now we can go ahead and re-secure this part because of course on the lower liner it's cut out for us, so no worries there. Now, because I want to make sure everything is 100% perfect and lined up before I go drilling holes in my new liner to reinstall my power port here, I'm gonna set this aside for now and not worry about it for the time being. I want to make sure that this tour pack liner is in here and all lined up and looking good, and then I'll worry about drilling holes in the liner. Now, the nice thing is there's already hole cutouts for the speaker port, so that is good. This one, I think I am gonna put some Velcro on the bottom right away around the edges because I want to be able to get this sucked down as flat as I can against the bottom. So I've just gone ahead and kind of wiped down the inside with alcohol again. Now, of course, you can always cut these Velcro strips down to whatever size you see fit, but also keep in mind, definitely don't need to be perfect because these are completely going to be hidden. All right, I think I'm pretty happy with this for now, so I'm going to go ahead and just start peeling back. And again, I'd have this kind of pre-formed before you start trying to stick down any Velcro anywhere, right? Now just pick your starting point, wherever that might be. Another area where I might want to add another piece. I feel like almost 100% I'm gonna add one here. But this is just one of those things that's completely your preference. And if you feel like just what they've added is enough Velcro mounting spots, then that's what matters, right? Because it's your bike, it's your tour pack. And also, I mean, it looks good, it's luxurious looking or whatever, it's impressive, but for the most part, rarely gonna be seen. So take that for what it is or for what it's worth. It's entirely possible that with a little bit more work, I could have gotten this corner pulled in to the corner a little better. I'm not sure. It doesn't feel like it, but then again, I've already kind of affixed Velcro all the way around here. So it is what it is. I may have to monkey around with it later, but again, I mean, none of this is permanent. So peel the Velcro off, kind of readjust. Again, I want probably mess around with this a whole lot until that adhesive has really had a chance to set up. But if you're pretty careful and just press it back down along the way, definitely some adjustments you can make all the way around. All right, so as far as the power port goes, I am gonna reinstall it, but not in this video. Like I said, I wanna give the liner a chance to really get formed in here, and if I decide I need to make any adjustments, move anything around a little bit, I do want to make sure if I'm going to drill holes in my brand new liner, because I'm going to need to make two right in here somewhere to match up with the holes on the power port. So if I'm going to be drilling any holes, I need to make sure that everything's properly aligned before I do that. I'm going to leave this for now. You won't get to see that happen, but hopefully I've explained myself pretty well. We can go ahead and disconnect this now. Pretty handy. Bought it for camping, but it seems to work out pretty well around the garage as well. I'm gonna have to do the power port relatively soon though, because I have the speaker pod bolts out already. I felt like it might be a little bit easier to feel where the holes were back there, and it's not really, but maybe I'll find some benefit to it eventually. Either way, that's basically it. You've seen the tour pack liner, you've seen the saddlebag liners. They look super, super good. I'll get some nice, crispy, sexy shots for you right after this. But first I want to say thank you, as always, for being here. Hey, remember, Die with memories, not regrets. Stay safe out there as always. We'll catch you in the next video from Touring Midwest. Peace.